for me is I like to purchase, I could have done it the last turn, but I have this turn also, is to purchase a tactical bomber right where I had enough money. And that's very important for me because I like to have 6 bombers to use for Operation Sea Lion and then later for the assault on Malta. And I want to, pre-game bombers, March, April, but this is the one I just purchased, so they'll arrive July, August of 40. That's good. That's about right at time I'm launching Sea Lion. And once I get the troops ashore in England, usually the weather gets bad, and that's when I transfer the units down to Sicily with the headquarters, all the bombers, to make the assault on Malta. But sometimes the weather rains down there too, so you just have to wait till there's a couple good weather turns. But the bombers are pretty much useless at that time, so you may as well have them in that strategic location. And it helps to take Malta, definitely. So that's the first move I make. And, well, down to 82. And once again, for the German turn, let's move WWII. No Royal Navy, so WWII will safely join the others up here. And let's get with the German offensive in the west. Well, I moved the bombers down from up here, expecting that to be worse weather, but of course we got some blizzards down here, so the bombers are grounded. And still got to continue the attack. Now, last turn, this hole was blown open, so I'm going to have a stronger Panzer Corps investigate. That wasn't too good. That was really not good. Should have done more damage, but can have everything. Okay, I had a choice to take Chalon, but I did not, because as I moved this unit here and attacked, I noticed something. The Belgian Air Force is based in Amiens. And I think a 6 will be fine. I don't think the French will be able to counterattack it or weaken it even more. Hopefully, I wouldn't want anything lower. The Panzers are fine, I believe. Now, there's one thing to understand in this game, is that if a unit has a zone of control of 5 or greater, if a unit has a strength of 5 or greater, it exerts a zone of control in the adjacent hex. And since this Panzer unit has a zone of control of 6, I believe it exerts influence in this railroad hex here, which should mean, if my assessment is correct, that this British Army unit cannot operate out of here. It's going to have to physically move. And my goal, even as I'm driving towards Paris, my goal is, if possible, to trap the British armies. I took Antwerp in the last turn, and I think this turn my panzers have succeeded in exerting a zone of control. I mean, he can move back in, but then he'll be under attack. So I have to think this out here, but that's the reason I didn't take Chalon right now. I think it's more important to trap and annihilate the units here and then go for Paris. It's only December, so there's plenty of time. But hopefully I've succeeded in trapping the British unit where it can't just railroad out to Le Havre. So it's going to physically have to move. and it could be engaged by then. And if it does leave, well, I can chase with the German units coming from Belgium and Holland. And taking Brussels, well, it will happen eventually. It's not a top priority. The top priority is to trap the units here. I'm just going to have to wait till the first turn of good weather to where I can just bombard and take Brussels. I'm not even going to bother with this Eben and Mail. So I think my Panzers have, all they got to do is not retreat and hold. Unfortunately, I didn't weaken this French unit as much as I wanted to. Or annihilate it, but once again, the whole point of the strategy is you don't need good die rolls. Even bad die rolls should do the trick. But I think I have blocked the British unit, so hopefully this works out. Yeah, there's certain things that take time, and you actually have to think out the situation when you're doing the live streaming. I think it's more important to attack this British unit, 0 to 3. He didn't retreat. Oh, I think that's good. Let's move here. Oh, I do have another shot. Either at the French. I forgot about this shot here. 0 to 2. I think it's better to... Oh, I got rid of it. That's one British unit less to worry about going back to England. Because if you can trap all these British units, that means there's less they can have in England by the time Sea Lion comes. So I try to get them. It's nothing worse than... If one or two get away, it's going to make Sea Lion a lot more difficult. But I really want to trap this British army. Can I move anything else in here? I think with getting close to Paris, also the morale of the French will go down. So I think these units are not going to be capable of launching any counterattacks. So... It's muddy weather, so it's very difficult to just make any progress at all. Maybe engaging and damaging this British unit is more important. Yes, it is. Because I think what the British are going to do is going to try to strengthen up and stay there instead of just trying to... And it's going to be unable to counterattack anything at the decent strength, so that was a better decision. I'm not worried about Brussels yet. There's a couple turns, that's fine. First turn of good weather, they'll do it. Oh, unfortunately, I can't move anything in here. Well, let's get this unit further up. I think it's good time to strengthen this unit to full strength. Got 35 left. There's not much to spend this turn. Getting that tactical bomber right at the beginning was the most important thing. Before I forget. No need to operate, just continue marching. I want to move the stronger units. I will move. I'm going to be quiet a lot when I'm thinking that this has to be done right. I'm trying to do the best I can here, so with the situation given. This unit is trapped. I'd rather move the headquarters closer. Move this one to Frankfurt. Pretty much everybody has reached their front. I think the next turn I can just start pouring these guys in towards Paris and then replacing the defenses that opposing the Maginot Line with these new marchers. These armies are going to be able to push through, hopefully, and take Brussels. Can I spend some little money here? I don't think there's going to be a... I've caught France flat-footed. They're still trying to rebuild strengthen their units. I don't think there's anything here. Maybe one could pop up at best case. These units are going to be trapped and cut off. So I think my panzers have done their job. I hopefully this zone of control here will prevent this British unit from operating away. It would still have to back up. Maybe this French unit will go in there to defend, but then it's going to make it much easier to take Brussels. I don't have any money left, so that's okay. Just use that. I want the fighter to be strong too. So when the weather gets good, the British fighters are going to come out, and if I can destroy one prior to Sea Lion, that would be really nice. That's usually what I try to do. There's usually 2 fighters in Britain, and if I can destroy, and then my goal is to destroy one before Sea Lion, and then the second one during Sea Lion, as long as with along with the bomber command. That's why I like to have 6 units, 6 bomber units to attack Britain. So I have this whole goal in front of me, the long-term strategy for the first step of Axis victory. But I can't do much more for Germany, so off to Italy. Well, the Italians go on moving to the port. Can reinforce. That's what we want. Still have to keep that unit here. And I'm not completely exploiting the AI, even though there's probably a 0 chance that it would attack France. But even with this general strategy here, I use it against human players also, so I cannot just devoid something completely. Or playing as the Allies, just avoid England completely other than one garrison in London, because I know for sure that Germany's not going to launch Operation Sea Lion as the AI. I can't do that. You still have to play as if you're up against a half-competent human player, so you're not going to see me remove units, like just avoid something completely because I know the AI is bad. I only exploit the AI at a grand strategic level and a tactical level. That's the only way, but there's no point having a good strategy where it involves we're playing really poorly on one end so you can achieve victory because of an AI. You still have to have a general strategy even against other human players. You just can't devoid everything because, you know, a slick human player we'll probably have a French army marching into Italy here if I totally devoided it and just, harass Turin and Milan. Like I said, that's why I'm keeping one unit, but even against the best human player, that's enough. So, I think Italy has 58 left. Getting ready to transport. Can't do that yet since I moved them to a port. But can reinforce the air units. Because eventually they will operate. And December, a lot of rains down in the Mediterranean also, so. It's as good as it gets for now. Italy has 1 left, Germany has 9. So, to Japan. Production. Okay, the garrison units. These are going to replace the ones in the Kwangtung army. Okay, we will. Carrier starting to move down here. No upgrades. And with carriers, got to make sure you put them on. I think I did that last turn. Nothing much has happened here. Well, let's try something. I've softened them up. Naval tactical. No dent. Oh, that worked out well. That's pretty good. I think even if this Chinese unit goes to full strength, it's just going to be very weak with the bombers and then the whole carrier air force. I think I can take Nanning pretty easily. No reinforce. Oh, nobody decided to get fresh this time and attack here. Okay, there's 3 units converging on this guy. Okay, you got to be really careful because I'm tempted to advance here, but then I let my guard down in Wuhan. So it's tough, these Japanese armies. Without mobility, they just cannot advance. So it's just better to create a killing zone here. Would have been so nice to advance and take this territory because then I'd have a 3-to-1 attack on that. But I killed a unit, so. let's use some money to upgrade. Get that naval weaponry. Okay, let's move the light carrier. I should research let's look at mobility for a second. I think that would help. Okay, each new level of mobility research increases the action points of headquarters, all infantry units except gun and special types. I think that would be a good one for Japan. Because I think that it would have enabled this one to advance into this type of hex, so that's a good thing to research, I think. For the war in China, definitely. Because those army units just cannot advance at all. There's just no mobility in the Japanese army. I just want to make sure, get my priorities straight. I do want another fighter. Look at the Japanese purchases again. Special force. Okay, this comes pre-game as a bomber. Army coming up. Another turn or two, I'm going to purchase another fighter. I do want two fighters in China. But I think since I do have the funds, and I really cannot, rather than purchasing another army unit, I'll just take these out. Let's research mobility. Make a mistake here. Gotta make sure you click the right country, because you can just, it's so easy to have an oversight on the wrong nation and just research the wrong technology, like I did last turn. Okay, let's see, can I research mobility? Yes. I do want mobility. 109. Let's upgrade. As well do that. Anything in the Chinese front that's out of the way that can be upgraded, yes. Special forces. This one will need to be upgraded too, but we'll wait till this town falls. All right, down to 6. Battleships. Well, let's just do a quick. Remember, I moved these. I do want to take a look here. I could probably upgrade this to 8. Or at least move the 10, the strength. If I can't, I'll move the strength 10 unit into these. Ababa next turn. Italy is just mobilizing, so let's just, this is going to be interesting here. Okay, next turn. My Fallschirmjäger. The IRA attacks Phoenix Park Magazine Fort. Okay, yeah, no imports from Sweden, so my income is less. It failed. Yes, I said that English unit did strengthen, and it did not move, so I hope it's still stuck there. Yes, that British unit is still stuck up there. Okay, the counterattack against the Panzer is failing. Please have some nice weather next turn, at least, so I can use my bombers. No! Oh, it's still January. The hull of our proposed aircraft carrier. No, we don't have no. That's just too much money. And it's not necessary for the strategy. No. Graziani headquarters. No, I do not want to deploy them in Ethiopia, because that headquarters is going to prove to be useful otherwise. Defending Ethiopia is not a priority. If my strategy works, we'll get it back later. Okay, more Fallschirmjäger, and I will deploy them right over here. And here come the garrison units for Japan. Let's put them in ports. They'll be sailing to Manchuria to relieve the others. Okay, Blizzard on my bombers. Well, they get the build up. But yes, that British Army unit is stuck in Belgium. And I'm going to continue. Movement is just awful. Like I said earlier, capturing Brussels is not that important. It's more important to get units. That a way to cut off the units in Brussels, and then when the good weather comes, just one nice turn, bang, you'll take it out. Okay, one other English unit, he's trying to escape, but if one escapes, that's... maybe a little bit too premature. I don't know where I want to move. All right, let's think this out a little bit. All right, we have 215.82, 282. Let me think. All right, I think this is enough. Episode's gone a little bit over 30 minutes, so I'm going to call it end of the episode here, and figure out what to do in this case. Thank you for watching.